Welcome back, everyone. You know what time it is. Papa's comic books and coffee. Two of my favorite things. All right. Well, let's see who decided to join us today. Ooh, will you look at that? Action Comics, number 386, only 15 cents back in 1970. Superman and Legion of Heroes, the home for old superheroes. Don't forget, this book and others is available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. And if you like it, give me a like. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down, give me a dislike. But hit that subscribe button either way, okay? Let's get into it. I was called Electro Man, and I can still give off a bolt. I was Atom King, mightiest man in the world. I was the last Green Lantern. I was sent here when I grew too old to fight crime. And I was Superman on the planet Earth. But like the rest of you, I outlived my usefulness. No one wants me around anymore. There's not much to do in this home for retired superheroes. I could nap or play giant checkers like those other senior super beings, but I'd rather use my heat vision to whittle these logs into statues of my long dead friends. More than 100,000 years in the future, crime has vanished. Wars are no more, even accidents have become rare. So where does a superhero fit in? Who needs Superman in a peaceful universe? No one, apparently. So he's sent to join other forgotten champions of the glorious past in the home for old superheroes. Oops. This is Earth. In the year 121,970, a desolate world poisoned by the radiation of nuclear war. But a radioactive atmosphere is no threat to this man. Cosmic fission created this freak mirror cliff, and it magnifies what 120,000 years of aging has done to me. All of a sudden, surge of fury and despair. I'm trapped here in the future with no hope of ever getting back to 1970. All my friends dead ages ago. What do? What do I have to live for now? Why can't Superman break through the time barrier? Because it has been sealed by the Time Trapper. This will pay him back for helping the Legion of Superheroes defeat me when he was Superboy. Ha ha ha. I saw my chance coming when I spied Superman in the conference at the White House. It's vital to our delicate top-secret experiment that you not fly through the time barrier for 24 hours. Agreed, Mr. President. But my foe didn't know what was waiting for him at his Arctic fortress. Great Krypton, an emergency summons from the distant future. I can't ignore it, but I mustn't break my promise to the president either. What a fix. Superman, your help urgently needed in the year 101,970, coordinates blah, 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 blah. His solution was to use a discarded Legion time bubble in his fortress. However, the machine was defective. This bubble won't disrupt the time barrier as I would have alone. I wonder what's wrong with it. It seems to be functioning fine. Superman soon found out upon arrival what the imperfection was and its horrible effect on him. Moons of Krypton, the time bubble transported me to the year 101,970, but I aged every year along the way. I'm over 100,000 years old. Refusing to panic, Superman performed the emergency mission and prepared to return to 1970. Farewell, Superman, and thank you. Have a safe journey back to your own era. The time bubble's defect should reverse itself in the way back and make me young again. And then I intervened. Some sort of obstruction stealing off the time barrier. It seems impenetrable. Neither the bubble nor Superman himself could break through. The past is forever off limits to him, and he can't die because some heroes of this age made him immune to all his weaknesses. Now he can only travel farther into the future, as he has already done once. And even as the Time Trapper, courtless Superman is flying further into the future, I've just zoomed another 5 centuries ahead out of sheer boredom. Maybe I'll find something that interests me in the metropolis of the future. As in all tower cities of this advanced era, the citizens of Metropolis dwell in the upper levels of their 5-mile-high skyscrapers, which loom above the poisonous, low-lying atmosphere. Odd, my telescopic vision shows that the people are all staring, pointing at me as if I were an invader. But surely a flying man is nothing unusual for this super scientific age. Halt, intruder, by command of the Violation Patrol. Great planets, 4 flying spheres zeroing in on me? The next instant, Superman finds himself enclosed in an eerie, pulsating ring. Don't try to maneuver away from us, offender. We can move just as fast as you can. You have openly violated Prime Directive A7. The use of any superpower in Metropolis is strictly forbidden. I could probably break away from these things, but I mustn't oppose the law. I'm from another world. I didn't know about Directive A7. Silence. The Pole Globes will take you to the Violation Patrol headquarters. Do not resist. Do not fly. Soon. The offender's being brought in now. Here. He looks strangely familiar. Yes, I've seen someone like him on Histor records. Not what was his name? And inside the Central Control Complex. Of course, now I recognize him, but that's Superman of the 20th century. He reappeared in Metropolis a few hundred years ago. You're right, Malin. Our apologies, Superman, but even you must obey Directive A7. Why are superpowers forbidden here? I'll explain. 30,000 years ago, 3 alien super champions settled on Earth and used their fabulous powers for all mankind. What a team of neurons have devised an ultrafiltron saucer and put it into orbit. Thanks to them, the atmosphere will now be free of all impurities. Hooray for the neurons! Earth is like so lucky to have such wonderful guardians. But soon a savage jealously arose over the female neuron, and her 2 suitors waged a terrible war with their lethal protovision. All Earth was the battlefield. Stop it, both of you. You're wrecking the planet. Their fighting lasted 2 days. And then they declared a truce, took off, and left Earth. They were unharmed, but their proto-energy created a poisonous layer of radiation that spread all over Earth. Even the Filtron saucer couldn't remove it. That's why we live in tower cities, and why we finally decided to pass Prime Directive A7, outlawing all superpowers a century ago. The city's flying powers detector alerted us that you were violating the law, Superman. Yet no charges are pressed against the legendary Man of Steel. And moments later, what a nuisance. Got to be ultra careful not to use any superpower for even a second. Those officers said they'd be forced to punish me if I did again. Soon Superman spots a spectacular sight. Choke. The Daily Planet? Building it looks nothing like it did in 1970. The temptation, I'm going inside. Brace yourself, Superman. You're in for a few surprises. A moment later, inside, reporter J678, get to the stellar conference of the visiting president from Saturn in 3.4 minutes. Great galaxies. Advanced technology has accelerated the newspaper game to a super speed pace using anti-grav belts. Did Superman say newspaper? Good morning. This is reporter Castor Danner 85 with news of the capture of a rare mutant beast found in the toxic zone at the base of the Metropolis. Watch my mention scope. The planet has gone completely video. The printed page must be ancient history in this era. Hey, it's pretty much ancient history right now. Then the mention scope's dazzling glow becomes larger, brighter until, fantastic, the reporter's helmet device has literally opened up, his mind transferring thought images to the screen. What a way to deliver a story. And as Danner 85 narrates his scoop, 2 members of the Animal Society restrain the creature and with torque beams, nets. It is being well cared for in the Metro Zoo. Walking through another corridor, Superman wanders into the planet history files. If these records go back far enough, I may be able to find out what happened after my disappearance in the past. Selecting and inserting a tape date of 1970, Superman gazes into the viewer. 1970 was the year reporter Clark Kent mysteriously vanished. Several months later, enough conclusive evidence was gathered to prove Kent was secretly Superman. I thought so when both Clark and Superman were missing at the same time. People soon pieced together the facts and learned the dual identity. Now to find out what happened to my friends. Several time lapses later, the Man of Might is amazed to see that the great heritage of Superman can leave. Lois Lane married a leading Hollywood actor who became famous playing Superman in motion pictures. Bob Noran, starring a Superman legend. Jimmy Olsen wrote a bestseller about his years of Superman's pal. And Perry White retired as an editor of The Planet and spent his last years in charge of the Superman Museum. Suddenly, Superman's nostalgic glimpse into the past are cut short. Hey, I don't know who in the stars you are, but only authorized staff members are allowed in here. You'd better leave. No use telling the janitor who I am. He'd never believe I'm a 20th Century Planet reporter. A moment later, outside, the auto guide control is jammed. I can't turn. Therefore, there'll be a fatal collision in seconds unless I prevent it, though it means using my powers. And at the exact instant of the action, Aces takes off. Violator, proceeds in air, sector 886B, apprehend. A half second later, listen, violation patrol, forget Directive A7. I'm trying to save lives. Your rescue attempt is unnecessary. Look for yourself, Superman. Each aircraft at Metropolis is equipped with an automatic desolidifier. In case of such a collision, neither the vehicle nor the building will be harmed. But now you have broken a prime directive for the second time, Superman, so you must be punished like any other offender. Several hours later at the planet in a nearby solar system, look at the transporter dock. The authorities are sending someone new here. By the twin sons of the mortar, it's Superman, the greatest superhero most of us thought was only a legend. He's older than we are, yet he looks mightier than ever. Not like us, has-beens. The Man of Might steps out and looks over his place of exile. Hail, Superman. Let him be our leader. When the judge robot of Metropolis sentenced me to the planet Diadin, I didn't know what to expect, but it seems I'm on a retirement planet for aged superheroes who have outlived their usefulness. As Superman gets the lowdown on the situation from the old-timers, I'm Electro Man. When I got old and my power was diminished, the people of my world sent me to live out my last years on Diodin. I'm far older than all these heroes combined, yet I'll never have any last years that's the prince of being immortal. There's not much work for superheroes now. I'm the last of the Green Lanterns in the universe. Once there was hundreds of us. I know one of them was my fellow Justice League member in the 20th century, but he's long dead, and I'm an outcast like you. Soon the action ace discovers the favorite pastime of the elderly champions. Wow, look how I went after those fleeing fugitives. That's nothing there. I am tackling the four-headed Kono beast with all my bolt charges. How sad there are excitement in viewing time records of themselves in action as young superheroes. But on the third day of Superman's sentence, the Diadin gets a frantic visitor. Please, as mayor of Metropolis, I beg some of you senior champions to come back with me. You Earthlings exiled me from your planet, and now you want me to help you? Forget it. No chance. That's on Earth, where superpowers are outlawed. No, not one of the elderly heroes will forget the bitterness and help, but then these oldsters seem to respect me as their leader. Here goes a crucial test of their loyalty. Wait a minute. Don't throw away this chance, men. We can prove to Earth that superpowers shouldn't be taboo, and that we're not has-beens who've forgotten how to use them. Yes, he's right. What he says makes sense. We'll obey our leader. Not long afterwards, a fantastic migration enters the solar system, Earthbound. And when the Super Squad finally reaches the sky limits of Metropolis, the first order of business is to eliminate that superpower detector. One blast of my heat vision should put us out of commission. Moments later, let me move this a little bit closer, just a little bit closer. How's that? Moments later, there's our emergency. It could wipe out the entire city in a minute. What's so dangerous about the skyscraper? It's strictly a storage silo for Newtonium, the most powerful explosive element in the universe. Yesterday, a freak storm created electrical charge in the silo and it started a chain reaction. Any moment, the Newtonium may reach a critical mass and explode. The silo's radiation would disrupt the circuits of any robot we might send in there. Besides, the Newtonium mustn't be moved. The slightest vibration can set it off. If I order a citywide evacuation, thousands may die in the panic. As Superman and his aged comrades face the impossible challenge, my power ring might do the job if I had a sharp enough mind to control it, as I used to, but I might accidentally explode the titanium instead. Metropolis is doomed if we can't help them. Yes, we can, but each of us must do his part. Listen, to the outermost sectors of the galaxy fly members of the Action Aces Ace Hero Patrol. My bolt charge isn't what it used to be, but it can slice off a chunk of Involnite. I'll carry these diamantium crystals back to the Earth with me and the scoop created in the projector brain. Oof! The Magna Meteor is so dense it takes all of my willpower to push it. And when the heroes bring these and other materials to the Earth, Superman is ready for them. So that's why Superman had us gather the hardest substance in the galaxy. He's forging an ultra-strong metal ally. Soon, when you have the slab securely in place, all 8 sides of the silo will be protected. But doesn't Superman realize the force of the explosion will flow downward and spread out all over the city? Only moments later, the chain reaction takes effect and the volatile Newtonium ignites. There it goes. The explosive force will level the entire city in seconds. But Metropolis gets a reprieve as the Man of Might blurs into action. Fantastic. Superman is spiraling the silo at super speed, preventing the explosion from spreading. Instead, he's turning it into a super powerful jet exhaust, propelling the Newtonium into outer space, where it came to do no harm. All of us owe our lives to Superman. This proves that Prime Directive A7 is a foolish and unjust law. I'll see that superpowers are made legal on Earth again. Superman will be pleased when he returns. But he won't return. The Metropolis Marvel is accelerating forward through time barrier, even further into the distant future. There's nothing for me in the air now but regret why I didn't marry Lois. I miss her, so now that she's lost forever, all I can do is jump a few dozen centuries ahead. Maybe I'll find happiness waiting there. What will the immortal Superman find at his next stop along the vast road of eternity? Has the time trapper erased the Man of Steel's only hope to ever returning to 1970? And the Metropolis he's known? Rejoin the world's loneliest hero in next month's action. Dun-dun-dun-dun. And that was Action Comics number 386 from 1970. I hope it was a good read for you. Once again, this book is available on my eBay page, Papa's-Comic-Books. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Tell me what was right. Tell me what was wrong. And hit that sub button. And as I always say,
that was easy.
Until next time, Papa is...